among you doesn't want to be wealthy? What, on the other hand, is the most important aspect of wealth? Many people feel that the only way to become rich is via business, and that somebody earning a salary or a regular income cannot do so. This, however, is not the case. According to statistics and personal observations, the salaried class contains a significant proportion of millionaires. They claim it took them 20 to 25 years to amass their fortune. But how do they achieve it? Because they have good financial management. They are used to saving money, making regular investments, doing research, and investing their funds wisely. However, many personal finance experts recommend setting aside half of our earnings for savings and investing when we initially begin our jobs. Even covering your expenses with your salary is not enough. So how do I go about doing that? This is how. Hello everyone and welcome to Wealthy Wisdom. In this video, we're going to talk about how to calculate 50-30-20 rule, manage money. If you're new to this channel, do like and subscribe to the channel. If you start saving and investing when you're 21 or 22, you can definitely become a billionaire. If your corpus is big enough to give you interest equivalent to your wage in 25 to 30 years, you may be able to retire 10 years earlier than someone who starts saving later. As a consequence, being disciplined is critical. The structure should now be somewhat different for both new and seasoned employees. Both cannot be subjected to the same constraint. In light of this, let us look at a framework that is acceptable for youngsters. How much should experienced people save, and how much can they spend on necessities rather than wants and desires? If you're just starting out in your job, you should follow this easy money guideline known as the 50-30-20 rule. Let me explain what it means. Half of your monthly pay can cover your essential requirements. What are the current basic necessities, rent or EMIs? You should also consider the rent for your current residence. You should also consider the EMI if you borrowed money to buy the house. In this instance, you might invest in real estate without considering the EMI. So, only consider the EMI for the house you now live in. Aside from that, basic essentials such as food, transportation, and clothes are self-evident. Other basic necessities such as food, clothes, and shelter have been added to the list of essentials in modern times. Telephones, the internet, water, gas, and electricity are all examples. I'm not asking you to stay since they are all contemporary essentials. You must choose your own basics. I have to spend money on them since they are my most basic necessities. However, make an attempt to limit your expenditure on the basics. In general, you should spend no more than half of your monthly income on necessities. Consider this as an example on how to calculate 50-30-20 rule. Nowadays, the average starting pay is between $5,000 and $5,700. Assume your starting pay is $5,700. You might spend $2,850 a month, or 50% of $5,700 on your essential necessities. Let's talk about wishes after this. Needs and wants are not synonymous. Your aspirations are only wishes, not critical necessities. For example, if a car is not a necessity for you, you might commute or go to walk while utilizing public transit, while on vacation, and shopping for costly clothes. Apparel is a basic requirement in my opinion, yet purchasing expensive, branded clothing is considered a want. Electronic gadgets. There's nothing wrong with wanting to buy a high-priced phone. As long as you keep it within your budget or put money away for it, you may then buy it. A phone, a high-end laptop, and a home entertainment system are among the wants. You are only allowed to spend up to 30% of your monthly earnings. As a result, 30% of $5,700 become $1,710 a month. This means you may spend $20,520 every year on it in any manner you deem appropriate. Following that, you should absolutely set aside 20% of your earnings for savings and investment. So why do we invest and save money? As you can see, retirement is a really underused area since so many people now work in the private sector and even in government employment. The government is phasing out pension schemes. It is important to plan for retirement. education for children, marriage, emergency cash you want to preserve for the future, and emergency medical money. All of these factors make it critical to start saving money and investing as soon as possible. As a result, I believe that when you begin your career, you must surely satisfy your basic needs as well as some of your aspirations. You should put away at least 20% of your income for investments and savings because young people want to buy expensive phones and nice clothes. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to discuss how to calculate 50-30-20 rule. What are the current savings? You may establish a normal FD, invest in stocks, mutual funds, or real estate, or create a provident funds account. There are, therefore, several options, but discipline is essential. According to this example, you should save and invest at least $1,140 out of $5,700. That's all there is to it for people who are just beginning out in their careers. However, as you acquire experience, your earnings increase. Obviously, your salary will differ based on whether you have 4 to 5 or 8 to 10 years of experience. So after some thought, consider the following example. I'll use a small, not a huge example. Assume your income has grown by a factor of 2. Even if we know that your salary has grown by a factor of 2 or 4 in the previous 10 years, we'll assume your monthly income has risen to $11,400. So what should you do now? Should you increase your expenditure by the same amount? No. Let me clarify. The 50-30-20 saving formula is popular, but I believe you should increase the ratio of savings and investments as your income grows. Your aspirations should not grow in direct proportion to your requirements. As a result, in my view, you should boost this to 40%, then reduce it to 20% instead of 30%. And lastly, add the remaining 40%. Please keep an eye on me while I go backward. It was replaced by 40%. And for the time being, my primary concentration is on investing and saving. As soon as you get your pay or other source of income, open an account and deposit 40% of your income for savings and investment. Then, when you're down to your last few dollars, you'll spend them on needs and wants. Let us now look at this another example on how to calculate 50-30-20 rule. When we take 40% of $11,400, we get $4,460. Now, $4,560 would be sufficient if you could manage this region for less than $4,000. Your overall quality of life will improve significantly. The answer is $2,280 if you take 20% of $11,400. You used to get $20,520 a year for your wishes. Now you get $27,360. If you increase your assets and savings, we will receive $41,040. You'll significantly increase your annual savings and investments. Retirement, education, marriage, and medical emergencies are all possible outcomes at any moment and in any proportion. As a result, you wish to continue enjoying your current lifestyle even if your regular income is eliminated. This proportion must be increased since you will need to continue supporting your lifestyle after that. The 50-30-20 rule has been demonstrated to be successful at the outset of a career, but as experience builds, you may move to the 40-20-40 rule. You will have no trouble managing your cash, assets, retirement plans, children's marriages, or education. I think you now understand the concept, but the most important step is to start saving and investing. There is no hard and fast rule that says you must have 20% or 30% to invest and not before that. You may start with 10%. If you practice discipline at first, you'll come to like it. You will get wiser and better at what you do, and you will be able to accumulate a significant amount of money before retiring. We've reached the end of another video, and thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something about how to calculate 50-30-20 rule. If you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Thank you and goodbye.